God.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're very, very, very excited for our special guests tonight. We have with us Miss Susan Feniger, who you see on camera. And she's busy muddling something.
Muddling lines.
And you know Susan from Two Hot Tamales, Border Grill, Socolo. She's an amazing chef and an author and an entrepreneur and a amazing activist and social, does all sorts of social good things. And
she's an activist and an advocate, you could say.
Advocate is what I'm trying to say. Thank God I have Amy around. And joining us also tonight is Emmy-winning award winner and Emmy-winning composer and filmmaker, I can't talk tonight, Liz Lockman, who we think is making an entrance. There she is. There's Liz.
Oh my God.
And
Hello,
Liz has won all sorts of Emmys, and her films have won millions of festival awards. But their latest project is a documentary about Susan and opening her restaurant Street, and it is called Forked. And so we are here mostly to talk to them about that. Forked.
That's why we traveled the world where I was miserable.
Yes.
Wait,
where she made me miserable.
And I actually, that is actually not true. Here's what really happened. The truth is this. I was miserable and Susan was so happy. And I thought, I can't start venting all my misery on Susan because she'll hate me. It'll ruin the trip, but I'm miserable. So then I started blogging about my misery for my friends so they could laugh at my pain. And that was strictly so I wouldn't upset Susan.
Oh, you're so sweet.
How sweet. I know. I'm
so sweet.
I ate such great food on that trip, like unbelievable food. And Liz didn't share in very much of that food.
No,
because Liz, you're what people might consider a pickier eater, right?
Oh, my.
I don't call it picky. I call it healthy.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, well, we'll see. Just wait about 25 years. Give us 25 years and we'll see.
25 years more?
Yeah. No, we'll see who's left standing. I think that's how we'll know. You know?
25 years more.
Oh,
Oh,
we're both not
That'd be 50
not in
years.
quarantine together. I hope.
That's why
I just want to say to the audience, if you can see us and hear us, comments, and feel free to ask a question to Susan and Liz because they're here for your entertainment.
Amy and Nancy, is this bothering anyone? The fact that there's light here, does that bother anyone, or is it fine?
No,
I like it.
not bothering me.
Your charm overshadows the shadows.
I'm emanating.
It looks like she has on a tie-dye white shirt.
Nobody even knows what tie-dye is anymore, honey. Sorry.
Oh. Sorry. In case you were wondering what I'm doing with this spatula,
Yes,
I'm making a mojito.
She's making 2 mojitos.
Well, because listen, yesterday was National Margarita Day. So I thought today is going to be our version of National Rum Day.
I'm fine with that.
So I'm making mojitos. And this is fresh mint.
Can you see what she's doing?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fresh mint.
Okay. If anyone at home wants to play along, get a glass, put some lime in. Oh, is that lime?
Yeah, there's limes in here.
Tell everyone what muddling
I'm muddling
is.
it. I'm squishing it so I'm getting lime juice. Can you see I'm getting lime juice
you
in
could
there?
just say
I'm squishing like that.
Yeah.
So
she's using a very important squishing tool. Not everyone would
put you
have
full
this
screen.
important squishing tool.
Yeah.
But see, they have something called muddlers.
Yeah, we don't have one.
So
but we
now
do,
a spatula is what we're using.
But we do have mint in our garden. So, and we have limes in our garden, limes that look like lemons. So I just muddled the limes. Now I'm going to muddle all this fresh mint in here.
I think she's going to muddle through the drink.
Okay.
I liked it.
Thank you.
Okay, so
thank you, Amy.
I'm muddling in there, muddle. That's okay. You guys can keep talking about it. I'll just tell you.
How long do you muddle for?
Too long, because I want my damn drink. You know, what's going on here? It turned into a cooking lesson. Yeah, could you just hurry
Always.
it up?
Now, when you're muddling, basically you're breaking up all the oil in the mint leaves so that you get oil, mint oil in the drink.
I did not know that.
And then in the limes, not only do we want lime juice, but we want lime zest, the oil from the green part, the zest. So that's why the mojito, then you add a tiny bit of, if you want, sugar or a little bit of sugar and water, equal parts. It's simple syrup, just a tiny
But
bit.
wait, sugar and water in equal parts is not how, that's not simple syrup. You
Yeah.
have to, don't
It
you have
is.
to cook it?
You really don't have to cook it, but you
Oh,
can.
really?
You don't have to cook it. You can bring it to a boil or just have hot water so the sugar dissolves.
So
It's not
bringing it
about
to a
cooking.
boil is not the same as cooking.
No, not really.
Yes, it is. It's not like I think I'll drop some sugar in the water, stir it up and pour it in. You have to do something.
Or
You have to
hot
cook
water.
it.
You can add hot water out of the sink.
Okay,
Okay.
I like that a little
Okay,
bit.
as long as the sugar melts, that's the
Yeah.
key, right?
Okay.
And
See?
even
Thank
there's
you.
rum. There's rum.
Nice.
There's rum.
I think Liz wants a little more rum, don't you?
Yeah,
Want a little more?
really.
Wait,
Liz.
there's like no rum in it. I'm sure
Just
that's
guessing.
fine. That's the one that has all the rum. This is the one that
Okay,
needs it.
that's mine. Then that's enough for you.
Oh my God.
Okay. And then sparkling water.
Is that sparkling?
Yeah.
Oh, see, it wasn't vodka. You told me that was vodka.
No.
She tricked us.
And then
I was teasing.
and then I'm gonna
Is it
put
traditional
ice cubes.
mojito with sparkling water, or is that a new trick?
No. It's sparkling. It's always got a little bit of sparkling in there.
And then Liz adds the flair.
Nice. I like those.
Wait. Are you kidding? It's natural puppets.
See? Once
There
again.
we go. It's the beginning of the show.
Always go back to the puppets.
Oh, I have something I really want to show you. I'm very excited to show you after I have my drink.
Yeah. let's-
Okay.
Okay.
All
We
right,
haven't
hold on.
had
I'm-
one. It's too bad you guys aren't with us here to have
Yeah.
one.
Oh, wish
Yeah.
we were.
Not sure if it's any good.
Looks
Carol,
good.
so
Cheers. I have
toasty
my
with my
bottle of water.
We have a couple. First of all, Madonna Cacciatore says hello. So
Oh,
shout out
Madonna.
to Madonna. And Pamela Spears, I want to say
Spires?
Spears. I hope that's Spires. Wants to
Yeah.
know, how do you make a margarita, Susan?
How I make a margarita?
Or how does one make a margarita? Which
No, she
way
says,
are
how do you, capital Y-O-U. So
You
I
know
think she
why
means
she's
Susan.
saying that, don't you?
Why?
Because she knows how we made the margarita last night for Margarita Day. Do you think you should tell everyone or not really?
No.
Oh, really? You don't?
No.
Susan has a little bit of trickster in her.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't have the right ingredients, she just makes it look like the right ingredients. And
No.
Pam was privy to something we did. Not me, I didn't do it. My hands are clean. But Susan did it.
For once.
And she may have fooled some people with her margaritas last night, but not Pam. That's why Pam's asking that.
Yeah, I don't.
And
we
I
don't.
tried to get Susan to drink it on the video.
I needed a little bit of mango puree and I didn't have any, but I had some ají amarillo in the refrigerator,
which is
which is
also
a
yellow.
South
golden yellow.
American chili that's yellow.
Oh, man.
And so I added that in and it looked like it was mango puree. And Liz said, well, why don't you taste it,
Taste
Susan?
it, Susan. See how it tastes.
So did you do the,
She didn't do it. She didn't do it. No.
I toasted instead.
awesome.
Uh,
Is that, what's your favorite cocktail, both of you?
Well,
Well, what do you do, Liz?
someone's asking me how to get onto the Facebook Live.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. What
Yeah,
the problem
someone's
is.
having a problem. I saw it too.
Really?
We're here. I know we're here for a fact. Tell them,
Well, we're
tell them
somewhere.
to
How the,
Amy and Nancy Harrington on Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
should see
that's
it.
tell them to
interesting.
leave and come back.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
if they quit out of Facebook and come back,
All
sometimes
right.
that helps.
Isn't this
Yeah.
interesting? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So favorite
Tech
cocktail.
problems.
Favorite
Favorite cocktail.
Well, for sure, right now during COVID, and before, I love mezcal, so that's become, I think, the spirit of choice right now. I
For
love
you.
for me, for
Because
sure. I
mezcal
love
to me smells like tires.
it's smoky.
It's
I
disgusting.
mean, there's
It's like
some-
rubber tires.
There's some mezcal that's way smokier than others,
Hers.
like I mean, there's all those different mezcals, and at Zocalo we have a ton of mezcals, as you know, but I like the smokier ones. And then, you can balance it. Like you could do grapefruit juice, or you could do passion fruit if you want to make a cocktail.
Passion fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you get passion fruit? I love this. Like she comes up with these. Just go in your fridge and get some passion fruit.
That sounds like it should be the Passionistas official drink.
Yeah,
exactly.
right? Oh my God, we should make one for
We
them.
need an official drink.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
Totally.
Matter of fact, we
Totally.
used to do one at Street that was with passion fruit, and then a spice, like a chili pepper. And so it was sort of spicy, but you got the acidity and sweetness from passion fruit.
Yeah, that one. That should be our official drink.
Yeah.
A little spicy.
Because
Love
the
it.
same reason, like grapefruit juice with it, or
Mhm.
anything that's acidic but a little bit sweet, like passion fruit is.
I like it.
I fell asleep about 4 minutes ago.
All right, so let's talk about Liz for a few minutes. So
Oh,
Liz,
yeah.
Oh, no, we can't.
No, no, no.
I couldn't.
no,
It's not because it's Susan. It's just food. I don't fucking care. Oh, I said,
you can swear. You can swear.
yeah, whatever.
So given what you just said, I want to know about this trip that you took, which was all about food and food
Which
that
one?
you probably didn't want to eat.
There's so
So
many.
why
Taken
did you agree to
enough.
go?
Well, because I don't want to get left behind.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Every time Susan does something, she makes it sound like it's the most fun thing in the whole world. And so I
it
want to
probably
have
is.
fun. Yeah.
So-
Except the only time when she went to India, I didn't go with her. And she would call me every night and tell me everything she saw and everything she did. And my response was almost the same thing every night. Do you remember what I said?
Yeah, she was so jealous that she wasn't there.
No. I said, thank God I'm not there.
Well,
That is
we
not my kind of trip.
We would eat from, I mean, this is what we do on every food trip, is that
When she says we, she doesn't even mean me.
yeah, well, I mean, Liz
I
too.
think it's like her and the other personalities in there.
When Liz and I would take a trip, and usually it was to some interesting place like Vietnam or, Shanghai or somewhere like that, it always ended up being around, let's go try street food everywhere. Let's go try walking through the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And you love that.
I do. I love learning about people and cultures. I just don't like eating foods I don't want to eat. Like turtle. I don't want to eat
Oh,
turtle.
yeah.
I
I
don't
can
wanna-
understand that.
Pass on that.
I'm just saying, but that's normal over there. I don't eat shellfish, so that's me,
Well,
but it's just a lot of things I don't want to see it killed in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Well,
I
no
wouldn't like that.
no one loves that, but
They don't mind it. That's the
Well-
way they live. I'm just saying it's interesting, but it's heartbreaking to me. So
Yeah.
I think that when we're traveling around and learning about different cultures, for me, obviously, tasting food at street stands and that is really a great way to get inspired, which is then having Liz documenting it and filming it is really fun. I mean, it's way more fun than just going with a camera crew that I don't know.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, so we were, when Susan decided to open her restaurant, Susan Feniger's Street, the reason I started filming it was because I thought, it's so interesting that she's doing this on her own for the first time, and she has to start over as if she was a newbie, and she's at the top of her field, and someone should film it. It's cool. It's interesting. I didn't mean I should film it, but I had to. I know, right? I'm not a filmer. But I had to do it because I was there, and if she was suddenly opening, something up that she received, and she's in her pajamas, and she's, Saturday morning, oh, let's see what we got. It's the tabletops, and I'm like, I can't call someone. Get over here now. Hurry.
Yeah.
Hurry. She's doing
Well,
something interesting.
We set up the whole, sorry, I sort of got undressed a little bit.
We didn't notice.
But-
Exclusive.
I didn't realize this kind of interview was going to be.
Surprise.
We set up our whole house, I mean, kitchen and living room, which is sort of almost our whole house, with tables everywhere. And then Sasha, who was my partner at Street, we just filled the tables. So like, imagine like 27 feet of tables, all with ingredients from all around the world.
I'm having a flashback. I'm having like
and Sasha would come over at like 7 a.m. and we would start testing. And Liz would be there like filming with a camera, which we borrowed from our friend Catherine Bronick.
Yeah, another wonderful filmmaker. Oh, not another, a wonderful filmmaker.
No,
another. You can call myself a wonderful.
You are a wonderful. We'll say it for you. You're a wonderful filmmaker.
But yeah, I borrowed the camera. And I didn't even have a camera, and I just started filming. And you know what we discovered was, at least what I discovered, when I had the camera, Susan would do all these things to make me laugh. So she was her idiot self, like she is at home, that you never see anywhere else.
What?
I know. So it was very fun. And so that led into also filming the food trips, because that's really where Susan gets her inspiration and got her inspiration specifically for Street. And also just wanted to expand her vocabulary, her taste vocabulary. And didn't you like that word?
Well, good. Also because I hadn't done any sort of doing a lot of restaurant food, you know, from other than Latin America, South America, you know, Mexico. Hadn't done other food for quite some time. So I really wanted to sort of clear my head and sort of jump back into eating.
Or clear your palate.
Clear my palate, yeah.
And
sort of dive back into Southeast Asia. So
then I thought, okay, that's actually also interesting, because that's some of the inspiration. And so in the film, the plan is, when we get it finished, to actually go to those places as sort of islands, the respite, you know, the shelter in the storm, because back home, what was happening with the restaurant was so horrible. I mean, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And so it was just like a mind numbing, you know, up at dawn, you know, bed at midnight, horrible experience.
Now that's so interesting. It's so not my experience of that.
Really?
I was talking about something else.
Here's your other wife.
I mean, you know, the whole process for me, well, at least the opening, you know, there were, you know, catastrophic things that would happen. Like all of a sudden the wall for the walk-in, we found out was, you know, totally rotted. And so we had to take the whole walk-in out, replace the whole walk-in, or
rebuild walls, dig up the whole sewage bathroom piping system.
So like dig down 3 feet.
Yeah, Susan had a blast. Yeah, she's changing it. She's changing it so she can tolerate it.
Should we show everybody the trailer so they get a little taste of what we're talking about?
Yeah,
they can see with their own eyes what you were going through.
That'd be great.
You got it, man. Don't forget to click that button about the sound.
Yeah, Amy, I made you the host, so you need to make me a host again.
Oh, stand by, everybody.
Okay, I'll just
technical difficulties.
Do a puppet show.
Stand by. I'm going to make you the co-host.
Yes, make us the co-host. I don't know what that means, but do it.
Drink your drink.
All right, I think.
I have another. I'm going to check comments too.
Okay, here we go.
Maybe.
Stand by. Oh, here we go.
I'm sure I'm pronouncing everything wrong. I have no concept of the language itself. Oh, here's my third Vietnamese coffee. Come on. I'm learning. Come on.
Cảm ơn.
Come on. Jesus. I can cook though.
Very very successful team of Susan Feniger and Mary Sue Milligan.
Maybe we shouldn't have had that last mojito. That is amazing. All my cooking career, I've always loved eating on the street. It's where I think is the most inspired part of a culture. It's where I think the food is the most creative. Whether it's in India, Thailand, or Mexico, or the United States, there's an interaction there that you just don't get in restaurants. It's real people that are bringing something that's very dear to them, and you get to share in that. And usually it's the most incredible food. It's the heart and soul of the culture.
This is exactly what I love. Why don't we have these in LA? That's what I want to know.
Thinking about opening this restaurant street was so natural because people that are serving off streetcars, off of the taco trucks, they're serving food that their grandmother or mothers, their ancestors made. It's so much about the heart and soul, and it's the most inspired food. It's really just a matter of figuring out what chairs, what tables, what silverware, glassware. Yeah, that works. You have to think about every single detail.
Wow, they sent so many. I'm trying to look at tabletops.
See this? This means that your friend is closer to you.
Come on, Cleo, get down.
We walked into it that first time, I thought, oh my God, how did this place ever get an A? It was so disgusting. This is such a dump. So now the zoning administrators won't sign off on it, but that means we don't get final permit for at least a month. I want it to be done in 3.5 months. Cook the brisket, $1,000 dressing, make chicken stock, make the preserved lemons. We've got like 2 months. We need to get the menu done. I mean, the menu's what I said was going to be the easiest. Now I'm panicked because we haven't like gotten it. Is that the cigarette?
Look.
One of the best things about opening this new restaurant is to even be spending this time back in the kitchen. I'm hoping we find a fudge that we really like because we made 8 batches of it yesterday. That isn't it. Fuck. We get about half done of what we think we're gonna get done every day. Every time anything takes longer than you think, it just costs so much money.
There's so much damage that we have to have the structure.
Termites and water run. We're paying rent for the last year on the ground here because everything else has got to come down. I've gone through feeling elated and excited and inspired and then freaked out and panicked and scared.
Excellent filmer, Liz Lockman.
You're an excellent filmer.
Thank you.
Such a great trailer. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Fun time.
I like the little point at the end when the world
Of course
falls on
you
the
would.
floor.
Of course. That trailer almost made me cry.
I know.
It's
Those
so
were
great.
fun times. Those were fun times.
When was that? How long ago was
None of your
that?
goddamn business. Anyway, so, hey, did you know that we're crowdfunding to get an editor?
We do, and that's why we have you here today, so that we can remind everybody.
I wasn't sure if you knew.
You do know. And you have all kinds of cool prizes and stuff for people that like donate all kinds of different levels of money to you. You want to tell everybody?
More than this cooking class of making mojitos.
Yeah, we have some people can get cookbooks from Susan Feniger.
Nice.
Street food cookbook.
Signed by Susan Feniger?
Hell yeah.
Yes, of
Ooh.
course.
Personalized to you.
And Liz could sign it too because she
Nobody knows what this means.
writing. She wrote. She wrote. She doesn't know how to cook, but Sasha and I told her
What to say.
everything
I wrote
like
it.
we wanted to say, and then she made it sound good instead of like, hey, just add enough onions,
Because
you
you've
know,
seen how she cooks. She acts like everybody knows things, and they don't.
like you guys. Like,
Yeah.
where's your pole for
Your
sharpening?
poll,
knives?
bring out the poll.
Where's the pole?
Everybody wants to see Susan
When do you
Feniger's
use the
poll.
poll?
Yeah, when
Quote unquote.
Said it. I'm not gonna pretend I didn't. I said it. We're actually putting the link
They
to
can
the
also get,
crowdfunding.
yeah. It's
in the comments right now, so people can stop
Oh, did you
watching and
put
just
it?
go give you their money.
Oh, yeah, no, we don't want that.
Then
And to have their money.
come back.
Okay, good. They can have a cooking class with Susan, with me putting in my comments.
Oh, and
Excellent.
I will just
Very
interject there to say, if people haven't been following Liz and Susan on Instagram and watching their videos, they don't know how valuable that is. That is priceless entertainment.
Yes.
It's what has helped me get through COVID is I'll be flipping through and I'll go, oh my God, I can watch Susan sharpen knives and hear Liz make snarky
make
comments. out of it.
fun. Yeah.
Well, first of all, you may say snarky. I may say educational and informational.
I say insightful. Yeah, it's very
Insightful
insightful.
as well.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
No.
And kind of snarky.
It's a little bit of both, really.
Well, I don't
Susan
know.
doesn't realize that not everyone knows as much as she knows, and then she says stuff and nobody knows what the hell she's talking about.
You mean
me.
like when you say get the pole out for
Yeah, like
the
that.
knife with that?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'm surprised at you guys.
But they can, another prize would be a
don't know
cooking
what's wrong
class. Online, Susan's doing Zoom, and also a private cooking class with
But
you
Zoom,
and
Zoom.
Zoom. You and
Yeah.
9 of your friends.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
And I have to say, you can all go and check it out. It's a good value for 9 people to split up.
Yeah,
It's-
for sure.
It's totally worth it. You'd go to a cooking class and you'd spend that much money and it wouldn't be with Susan freaking Feniger.
Susan
So-
Feniger.
Well, it's fun. They're fun. You know, it's been interesting during COVID because that kind of cooking class is really quite intimate because even though you're not in person, you're talking like this. So
Right.
there's something really nice about that. I've done a
Right.
couple of them and they're really, I think people you have a different experience because you're actually quite close and then you can ask questions. And so anyways, there's a couple different cooking classes on there that you can do with Liz's comments and without.
No.
Always with.
No, always with Liz.
Yeah, totally. I have a question about the documentary. Are you in it at all, Liz?
Funny you should ask.
Are you?
Because you should be if you're not.
I am unintentionally in it because
Okay.
as a non-filmer, I mistakenly left the camera on a number of times when I was talking. So what happened was you heard me talking on the phone. I'm not on camera doing it, but I think I was saying something like, I don't know. I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of filming her. I'm so sick of this project.
How could that be?
You know.
Impossible. Yeah. So I discovered that I became part of the, the other thing is sometimes there would be like Susan we would be doing this at midnight in the house. And sometimes it would be just us and she's talking to me. So I have to answer her back because I'm there. And so I am part of the project unintentionally, but there it is. It's and someone said something wonderful to me today. It's really my point of view as the filmmaker. It's my point of view of Susan and this journey Susan took. Susan didn't actually see, and I don't even think she sees now what the journey is.
I don't, but
She's like, I don't know why
Really?
anybody wants
who
to see
wants
this.
to watch that? I don't even get
But
it.
it's
I don't.
really,
I do.
Give a heart, click on the heart if you want to see this film, everybody.
Yeah, right.
it's quite about how to overcome, adversity. And it's interesting. And it wasn't planned that way. And that's, I guess, what documentaries are. You can't plan it. I'm just the fly on the wall, but I know Susan's humor and I love Susan's humor. So I'm able to capture it in a way most people won't. you know, and she'll say things to me that she won't say out, like you just heard on that sizzle reel. You heard her swearing, and she would never do that on Channel 5.
So, but I think the what Liz's point of view on it, which of course, you know, I don't think I understood when she talked about doing this. Is like, I don't even know why you would do this, but because we don't want to see another documentary about opening a restaurant or even just traveling. Although I think travel shows are interesting, but you know, eating travel food shows. But I even said, you know, I don't even know that, but that's not really what it's about. And I think what you said, unless that's a secret, but the spirit, I think, you know, I sort of, maybe it's because I have a terrible memory. I'm able to like just move past like closing restaurants, you know, I just sort of like, okay, that's done. What's the next one we're going to do? You know, it's easy for me to just keep going, but I think it is a personality
disorder.
Yeah. Disorder.
Yeah.
I like
the mojitos. It's one of the two.
The other thing is I don't think Susan quite understands how entertaining and warm and inviting she is. Don't listen, okay? Plug your ears.
I'll go make another drink.
Yeah, because actually, it's like I said, even if people, in the beginning of this film, even if people don't know who Susan is, and I will introduce Susan, so people who don't know her will get to know her, and people will get to love her. And so by the end of the film, it will be that people sort of adore Susan, you know, and so, not me. I can't resist. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm never like this except around YouTube. YouTube
bring it out
in me.
Is that true?
I don't think that's true.
That's not true.
No, okay. I was going to say,
I thought I should
never
say it.
But it is, I like the journey of it, I think, you know, is interesting. I mean, when I look back at like that, you know, opening up a restaurant without Mary Sue, which was the first time I had done that in like
35 years.
Yeah, 35
years. Why did you do it? Why was it? What made you want to do it on your own?
We were at, you know, she had 2 young kids and they were growing up, and, you know, we had closed a couple restaurants over the years, and she wasn't ready to do more. And I was, like I said, I have a bad memory. It's like, oh, that was in the past. This is in the future.
Like yesterday.
And, you know, and my partner there was Sasha Alger, who was, you know, had worked for Mary Sue and I for many, many years at City and then at Border Grill. And I loved her. She had left and moved up to Northern California, but she was going to come back down and open it with me. And it was just, you know what, I wanted to get like away from a restaurant that had meetings all the time. Not that we do, but just as you grow, you do. And just sort of down to, like Liz said, back to my roots of, you know, just make a decision, just open the door, be in the kitchen cooking. And so it was sort of fun to go back to like City Cafe days, which was 1981. So it was, you know, more for that. And, you know, and I think Liz shows that journey of starting there, what that meant, and then where it went,
and how it all ended.
Yeah. And I think
we won't give that away.
Yeah, we won't. Yeah.
There's
But it's interesting.
No
I think the journey is what's really interesting. And Liz saw that, you know, saw how to make
At what point did you see that it was a film, Liz? Like, were you kind of in the middle of filming this thinking, oh.
No, not at all, actually. I really didn't think it was a film until maybe a couple of years after I shot everything, and I was looking through the footage. You know, I lived, breathed. I was editing together little marketing videos for the internet. I was filming when they were here. I was going to the site under construction, filming the continuous construction. I was coming back, filming the tasting. And then after everyone left at night, Susan was gabbing all about what happened that day. And it was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to kill someone. I'm going to have to kill myself to get away from this. So I did not want to even touch that footage. And when I finally did, I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And it was hilarious to me. So hilarious and heartbreaking and interesting. And the whole thing, you know, I always say there's something for everyone. Even in that little sizzle, there's food for foodies. I am not one. So I'm not interested in that, but I am interested in having fun. I am interested in seeing building something and seeing trucks and building stuff. And I'm very interested in the travel and the adventure of it all. So, you know.
And the experiences, I mean, some of the things that are on the footage that Liz shot, you know, are things that, even things that have nothing to do with food, but have to do with the relationship that happened with someone in Shanghai and then someone in Vietnam. I mean, just some of those experiences, like even a little bit on that scissor reel, was like, oh my God, that was such an amazing,
like you couldn't plan. Like there's a little bit of her playing soccer with these little boys in Vietnam. And that was just on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And we stopped, you know, and our guide, you know,
was
said,
playing,
let's go see.
He went to go play soccer with the boys.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to play.
So she had to jump over this canal, this little teeny canal. So, okay. And I was filming. She jumped over it and landed in cow crap.
And of course, all the little boys, I mean, they were all like 14, 15 years old.
They were laughing so hard, as was I, as was our guide. The only one who wasn't laughing at that moment might have been Susan.
But I still played soccer, even with cow shit all over my feet.
Good sport.
And then, you know, I played soccer with, you know, the boys there. And that was nothing planned for film. It was just that, like, I love little kids and I love, you know, playing with them.
Do you love little sloths as well? Look, I want to show you this.
Baby sloth.
Oh,
that's adorable.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
I'm showing this to you because, hi, I'm a baby sloth.
Oh.
Do you believe that? Isn't that the best?
That is the best.
I'm with my mom.
Oh.
I know. That's how old is she?
I mean, come on.
The perfect age. She should stay that perfect age forever.
I'm showing this to you because I knew you would appreciate it, as Susan does not. She does not appreciate this. I love this little baby sloth.
Right? Didn't you?
There's a big puppet gap in your relationship, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
She does not appreciate those, but
I'm going to show you.
I got this at the car wash, by the way.
You did? They have to sometimes at the car wash.
Isn't that cool?
That's a good one.
Oh, who knew? Another thing you couldn't have planned.
It's true. Very spontaneous.
I know.
Here, but I'm going to show you this. This is
beautiful.
This is Liz's childhood.
These are my puppets. I used to do puppet shows. See?
Aren't those amazing?
Those are beautiful.
And is that an ape? What?
Well, it's some kind of monkey, but he's got a hole in his mouth.
Someone must have eaten him. One of our dogs.
No, I think it was age.
Where were these from?
Happens to the best of us.
Liz had these in Michigan.
When I was a kid in Michigan, I had these, and my sister and I used to do puppet shows behind the couch. For no one, by the way. For no one.
For no one. Yeah.
Yeah.
We put them on a little stand, and now they're it's an art piece. I think it is an art piece.
It's sculpture.
It is an art piece. They're beautiful.
I know. I think those puppets are amazing.
It's funny. I was going to say we had a King Friday puppet. Remember that? Like the plastic head, but it had the same hands. Those little like bizarre felt hands.
Yeah, flappy hands.
It's like they go to all this trouble to make the faces so beautiful,
and then they just put these little things there. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh man!
Anyway.
What do you want to ask, Nan? I feel like I've been hogging the conversation.
Oh, I don't know. You've been doing great.
So many good.
So I've just been sitting here enjoying it. I forgot I had to ask questions.
You don't have to. I have a million of them, but I didn't want you to feel like I was monopolizing the conversation.
Never, never, never.
What was your favorite moment on the trips?
Let's see.
Well, favorite or most memorable?
Either one.
Both.
Okay. I would say that when we were in Shanghai in one of the markets, no, it wasn't Shanghai. It was Ho Chi Minh City. And we were in a huge market. And we went outside. Well, part of it was covered. And we went outside and, there was the live animal part of it, which was not my favorite. And there was this bag, and it was, what is that called? It's see-through stuff. It's, crisscrossy wire.
Mesh.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
And it had in it frogs, and they were alive, and they were sort of jumping around in the bag, but none of them had heads.
That was your most favorite moment?
No, but that was probably one of the most memorable moments.
Mm.
It was horrifying to me, and you just got to roll with it. But that okay. Erase.
Okay, mine was
Bunbo Hui.
Live.
Yeah.
No, I think that was cool. But I think in Shanghai, in the park.
Oh. Yeah, dancing.
No,
Which?
The singing.
Oh.
That was
There's these old
incredible.
There were these old. So in the park, they would have a gathering of communists. They were all older people, and they would sing communist songs.
And this was just, we were walking through the park. It was early one morning, and it's a huge park. So there's all these people playing badminton, no nets, but just exercising badminton. Dancing.
Yeah, they
for
do
exercise.
dancing, line dancing with somebody leading them. They bring a big thing and they turn it on and it plays the music and they all line dance.
And we're just walking through the park and it's like, it's so cool because a lot of it's all mixed, older people, younger people, but it's all sort of exercise and working out, but sort of through things like dance and
play. Yeah.
And we get to this one area and there's this whole group of people that are singing. And
they've got the scrolls with the Chinese writing, so people know the words. And they had a violin, they had an organ out there. I don't know what kind of. They might have had some kind of percussion, and they were singing these songs. And Susan walks up, of course, with her Starbucks, and there's a very tall, slender, older. He must have been about 80 something man. And he looks at her and
I'm standing right next to him, sort of in the group.
Huge.
I just
because she's interested, and he goes like this, and so she kind of goes like this, and he brings her in, and then he leans over and he goes da 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 da, because that's like America, and that's probably he doesn't speak. I clearly didn't speak English, and so she started laughing, and then he said something to the leader in the front. And she led the entire group of people. There must have been 50 people in Jingle Bells.
It was so sweet. It was just like,
and then everyone applauded.
It was the sweetest thing ever.
It was so sweet.
Yeah. But, I think that's, to me, the most rewarding thing about traveling. And I think eating, because that's cultures, it's one thing people share, even when you don't speak the language, is eating food together. But no matter what, is when you step into someone's life, their culture, by just sort of participating in a way that, and their everyday things.
Remember that woman in Turkey? We were able to spend through a guide. Again, people who didn't speak English, we were invited to their home for lunch. And the home was a stone house. The bottom was the barn. And then you walk upstairs and they have their home over the barn. And it was like 2 rooms. And the fireplace was where she cooked. And so when Susan got down on the floor to cook with her, the woman was making a tahini bread, right?
Yeah.
She was rolling.
Well, sesame seeds from their yard. Yeah. She ground it, in a hand grinder into tahini, and then was making bread and using the tahini to make like a marbling tahini bread.
And Susan was interested, and through the guide, Susan was asking questions about her. And you could see that she was not used to anyone paying any kind of attention to her. And so she was very shy at first. And then she started to kind of smile and, and very beaming about the attention. And by the end of it, she was running out to get other things to show
Yeah.
Susan, and this, something she made cream in and things like that. And
It was amazing.
it was
yeah.
lovely,
And I think that kind of experience is what, for me has always been the inspiration. That's why whenever we travel anywhere, we never end up really eating in restaurants. We
Right.
always end up eating in a neighborhood on the street. Then somehow we get invited into someone's home. And it's not because someone knows me. They don't. I mean, it's just that we're interested in what's going on. And I think the way that you learn about really someone's life is immersing yourself. And, I mean, food is
or music.
or music. Yeah.
We took a trip to Scotland and Ireland, and Susan didn't want to go because she thought the food was going to be terrible. And I said, look, this is not a food trip.
Don't generalize it. I think the food in Scotland and Ireland, it wasn't where my interests were.
Okay,
Liz.
let's put it that way.
Clarification.
Well, let's put it this way. When she said, well, where do you, because I said, let's do a trip I want to do for once. And she goes,
why?
Like what? She goes, like what? And I said, Scotland and Ireland. Okay, quote unquote.
I take that back.
Unquote.
I take that back now, though. That was one of the more incredible trips.
Because you know what?
Why?
Yeah, because I said, look, take food off the table. I'm sorry, I had to say it. That's horrible.
Yeah,
that was horrible. Okay, but let's pretend this is not a food trip; it's a music trip. I was like,
I love that though.
See, and I said, let's look at the people from the Highlands of Scotland came over here and brought their music with them. It became our mountain music. And they settled in our mountains. And so I want to know, I know what our mountain music sounds like, and I love it. I mean, the original, from the 20s and before. But what did it sound like right before it came over? I want to find the bridge. I want to find the hopping off point. And then how did it sound there? And then how did it change when it came here? And so that's all we did was we went to pub after pub after pub after pub. Thus my love of Scotch now.
Yeah. and
it was fabulous.
It was incredible. We loved Ireland, Scotland. We would both go back to either place again. And the music was
incredible.
So unbelievable.
And they really just it's so much a part of the culture because I don't know, I was never there before, but in these pubs there's a place that they save for musicians. No one can sit there. Musicians just come, they bring their instruments, they just start playing. I mean, it's amazing. And then they get to drink for free. So of course they want to come and play all night. But you hear some amazing music.
And people would get up and then someone else would come in with a different instrument.
And that one woman loved her. She brought her cello in. I was like, oh my God, it was cool. There was a mini bagpipe. And it was fabulous.
It really was. Every single night we were in pubs, local pubs, listening to music.
And drinking.
And really, I think, my dream always has been, I mean, in the last 35 years is to open a place and have music, a small little cool place that you could have live music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a little, so food, music, these are the things that bring people together,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's part of the
Robin McWilliams says, oh my God, Liz, please say you have that Christmas Christmas footage in the film.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
There you
Christmas
go,
footage will be in the film.
Yeah.
So everybody needs to donate to the cause so that we
so
can see.
we can get an editor and get this thing made.
What we're doing
I'm going
is
to put the link in again, just so everybody knows.
I'm going to say it out loud. Liz Lockman, LizLockman.com/forked.
How can you forget that? It's the best title of a documentary.
And so
probably ever.
Really, it's yes, I've mapped out how I want the film to go. And now I just have to have an editor who's brilliant, no pressure, to put it together. We need to make a rough cut. So then we can move to the next level.
And there's other moments that are like that, Robin. There's other sort of cool cool moments of, experiences over there that just are so precious. And
The woman in Hue, Vietnam, which was a small village, and they had the best bun bo, which is like pho, really.
yeah,
But
similar.
And she wanted Susan to taste everything, of course. And again, this is all through interpreters. They ended up, she told us that all about her daughter in Colorado, remember?
Yeah.
Who couldn't get she wanted to open a bun bo restaurant, but her husband's relatives wanted her to be in their nail salons. And she needed to try to get the money to open up her own place. So, that woman ended up crying. Susan
Yeah.
ended up crying.
It was so sweet. Oh my gosh.
It was so
sweet.
sad and happy.
Yeah.
But these are the kinds of moments, again, you don't plan that.
Early
It's just,
morning
you know.
when in Shanghai, right?
Yeah.
We went from like 3 a.m. to eat at little tiny places that are there for when either people are coming home after partying all night and stopping by a stand, or it's the produce guys who are getting up, or the fishermen
before work.
Yeah,
people
before
are going
work.
before
And
yeah.
these little tiny stands, and we went like from 3 a.m. till like 10 a.m. eating at different places. And one place we went from being making homemade soy milk from soybean, right?
And the yo chow, the donuts, twisted sugared donuts, and they'd soak it in the milk.
And it was either
a
sweet
soup.
or savory, and
Yeah.
it was freezing out. So you'd have they had one little table, like, 2 feet wide, where you'd stand around and eat it. And then by 8 o'clock,
So I think it was 7 in the
7
morning.
o'clock, it shifted from that to being a shoe repair.
Yeah,
shoe
shoe
store.
repair.
So it was really,
So that's why we had to get up at 5 to get
Yeah.
there in time. But that was amazing. There were some great moments too.
Yeah.
Susan was learning how to make little dumplings from the woman who was like an expert like this. And Susan's like, what? Kind of like the way I was on the knife sharpening video.
but that was so interesting, because that was, that was outside of an apartment complex, like,
It was just a big building.
like La Brea, what's it called? Like
Park La Brea.
Park La Brea.
Park La Brea.
Like
And
that.
they,
It was
they
on
strung up a big plastic sheet.
from the ground floor out a kitchen window.
That's their little tarp, and set up some tables under it and a counter, and they'd hand stuff out the window.
And then they had like some hot plates, and little kids that were going to school stop by with their mom, and they'd pick up,
Soup.
something to take with them,
Yeah.
dumplings, or, they'd sit and have a hot bowl of soup. And
Susan tried to tell me that duck blood soup didn't really have duck blood in it. I did not fall for that ruse.
Yeah.
Did you try it?
no, she used she had the bowl of soup, the big bowl, because it was freezing. I turn around as I'm trying to make dumplings. And I turn around, where's Liz? She's sitting on the table, there's like 3 tables in there, farthest away from where we're making the dumplings. And she's got the bowl of soup sitting on her feet to warm her feet up.
Well, it shouldn't be a total waste.
That duck lost its life or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, duck blood. They just call it that.
Lost in translation.
I don't think so, Susan Feniger. I'm not falling for that. No, I'm
Good
not.
for you. Good for you.
Thank you very much.
So do you just
What
wander?
was your favorite thing that you ate while you were there?
Me?
Yeah,
You?
either of you, both of you.
What do you think? I liked those little the things he was pouring, those pancakes.
Yeah, those were.
I was going to ask about those. What were
That was
those?
so interesting. It was really like a trash can with a fire inside of it. And then he had the
rice flour.
yeah.
It was a rice flour pancake that was steamed under the garbage can, and he had a
he would
thing
pour
of
them.
water,
And then he'd
so the
water in the
steam
middle.
came up.
and he'd cover it. And then he'd open it up and it was all pancaked. It was all cooked.
It was little
And then he'd fold
puffed
them
rice
over.
pancakes,
That was good.
and kids could pick them up and take them to school with them. Then that's an example of, we took that dish, and for Chinese New Year at Street, we took that dish, but we knew that we had to sort of tweak it a bit for the American public. So we made like a coconut syrup with poppy seed to put over that. So that was good. But
Yeah.
let me think. There was the that place where there were 4 guys sitting on the ground,
Oh, that was good too.
and they made
That was
these
in,
crepes.
That was in Ho Chi Minh City.
Yeah, and it was in an alley, and there were like 20 picnic tables, all full, and it was the same dish that came out for everybody. And it was was it coconut milk pancake? I can't remember. It was like a crepe, thin like a crepe, and then you'd put in there, it could have been like an egg that was fried, and then some different vegetables, but the whole thing came
Mung
out.
bean, I think mung bean went in there or something.
Yeah, and it came out, it flipped over.
Flip it over.
And then with all like fresh mint, fresh cilantro,
Thai basil, yeah.
and that all came out. And then you just took that and
you
put
dip
all
it
the
in
stuff in.
fish sauce.
Yeah,
and that was good
that
too.
was
And did you eat it with your hands or?
yeah, yeah.
You know how I don't like that.
And there was one place
I do
in-
don't like that,
I
but I,
can't-
did it when in Rome. You know, there was one place where Susan also tried to get me to eat the thing that I hate the most on the planet,
what?
which is tapioca.
Oh yeah, that was
Oh.
fabulous.
No, it was
Love
not.
That
tapioca.
was so fabulous.
It's the texture. I cannot.
I'm on the fence
separate.
about it. It has to be.
I love tapioca.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she's like, here, try this. I'm like, no.
But there was
Then she made me eat one. And I was like, she didn't tell me it was tapioca, of course, just like she tried to get me to
There were
believe
all-
duck blood wasn't
all
duck
these
blood.
different kinds of dumplings. These like 5 women were sitting around with a big thing of tapioca and making all these different types of dumplings.
Shrimp in there and everything.
Oh, they were
right?
so great.
Oh, what about the shrimp? What about those little shell on the little snails?
Oh,
from the
those
river?
those
You
were
love
great.
that.
Yeah, that was.
Did you eat that?
was-
No.
No,
I didn't think so.
did you ask?
Just was checking. You never know. Maybe you
But
could
I-
surprise us.
But I blogged about it because I started my blog with today my lunch was Pepsi.
Yeah,
Oh my God! You should do a companion book to the documentary, Liz.
Well,
I
you know,
know.
we were thinking
yeah,
about that.
we
actually.
want to.
We were thinking about that, and I even thought I might, put some of the blogs in the film just for fun. But we'll see. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
That's a last minute addition. We'll see.
Yeah, right.
I have a food
Excellent.
question. Somewhere in the trailer, it looks like a big bun, and you sliced it in half, and the
Oh, yeah.
inside almost looked like chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, that was was
Chinese.
the bean, the
Yeah.
red bean. It was
Oh.
it was a tapioca dumpling with red bean paste
Are there
inside.
sesame seeds in it or something sprinkled on the
Yeah, I
outside?
think maybe we
That
did
was
sesame
good.
on the outside,
Yeah.
and you dip that in something. So it was sort of savory sweet.
And they did that at Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks so good.
Nice.
We want you. We
Delicious.
want to travel with you.
Okay.
I know.
I want to walk down the street with you and have
You
you.
can keep
pick
me
out
from
food
murdering
first.
Susan. We can put the 2 of you in the middle, and then we'll be on each stand.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Sounds
Whatever
great.
works. Yeah.
Yeah.
One last food question is: did you ever find the perfect fudge recipe after all that trying?
No.
I think,
It is very
my
sad.
memory of fudge when I was 5 and 6 and 7 years old was very different than the fudge
Yeah.
that we ended up making. I think we made a good fudge, but it was like, well, this isn't that good.
I think
Yeah.
you must have made 15 different
Yeah, we
fudges.
did. We made a
And-
ton.
and-
No, yeah.
And I think, there were so many variables because there was the type of chocolate that her mother and grandmother used. And then there was didn't they say a square? Remember? There
Yeah.
was the way it used to be divided, that it's no
Yeah.
longer divided that way. So now your amounts are all off. So
Yeah.
you've got
Right.
so many variables for how they used to make it. And,
Look,
and
yeah.
she
This is
Oh,
Wow.
my mom's and my grandmother's and
Oh,
recipes that I have like from when I was in culinary school.
Oh my God.
wow.
Like, look,
That's
like,
so great.
Here's one of my grandmother's recipes. Can you see
Oh
the
wow! Yes. Oh, that's so cool.
Wow.
Pickles.
look?
So that's.
And
Oh,
here's one of
that's
my
so great.
mom's.
Oh
Wow.
wow!
And then, and wait here, and then I'll show you. Then you can see. Here's one of mine. I don't know how old I was when I wrote that.
Oh my God, look at that cheesecake. Oh my
That's
God.
You know what?
awesome.
To me, what's
You need
so
to do a
funny-
book of that. You need to do
I
Susan
know.
I
Feniger's
know.
childhood
Look
recipe
here.
book.
Here's a matzah dish that my grandmother.
Wow.
Oh,
You know,
You know,
wow.
it's funny. I think what was made me laugh so hard is when Susan was trying to find the fudge recipe. She called her sister, and Chris, I hope you're listening. Chris said, and she said, "What do you have Mom's fudge recipe?" And Chris said, "No." And she said, "Well, did she make it with?" And Chris goes, "Make my cookies instead. You should sell my cookies at street." It was like, boom, right? It was the fastest pivot I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
My mom used to make all these icebox cakes, like chocolate,
yeah.
coffee,
Oh,
strawberry. And one
wow.
time when we first had City Cafe in 81,
So cool.
my father packed it up, like 8 in dry ice, 8 with lady fingers.
Oh,
like
wow.
The chocolate, the coffee, the strawberry, and had me sell them at City Cafe.
Oh my
was
God, that's
hysterical.
awesome.
That's
It's in the
awesome.
blood.
Yeah.
It's all
We're
good.
getting a
That's
tip
very
from Lisa Barbosa, who says marshmallow fudge recipe on the back of fluff is the way to go.
You tried that one.
Did we try
Yes,
it?
they tried that one. I
No, we
remember.
wouldn't have tried it.
No,
Well,
you
what was
dropped-
this? What was the secret ingredient in Aura's recipe, Amy, that you did
So-
this Christmas?
So Nancy's mother-in-law passed away this past year from COVID, and Nancy's husband waits every year for his mother to send him fudge. So
For Christmas.
for Christmas. So his sister posted the fudge recipe online, so I made the fudge, and the fudge had, I think it was 2 1/4 cups of sugar and then 16 marshmallows,
Wow. Not
whole
sweet.
marshmallows. Yeah,
Not
it was
very
very sweet,
It
very sweet.
Is it good?
I thought it was pretty good. It's,
She
you know,
did
it's
such a
always-
good job.
Yeah, it was a little grainy, but
Yeah.
At some
was a-
point, you should just dig right into a bag of sugar and eat it because that's
Yeah,
all
you
it's
might
gonna
as well.
do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, just mainline it. Yeah.
totally.
What are you bothering with all this stuff on the side for?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but I know
No,
Susan
no.
has
Susan has
other
to go.
plans, and I don't want to hold her up.
Yes.
We want to remind everybody, and we're going to post it one more time right now, to please donate to get
Yes.
awesome prizes for Forked, because we want to see it.
And yes, and you'll also get the film before it comes out, before it's
Oh.
everybody else gets to see it, and
So-
you get to be part of it, which is
I know.
cool.
Right.
You
Yeah.
get to be part of the Fork family,
Yeah.
which is fun,
Yeah,
right?
Excellent.
yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
And you really
Family.
want to be part of their family, because we've met a lot
They're
of
the
great
best
people
people
in
on
the
the
last
planet.
few years, but
Wow.
nothing makes us happier than spending an hour with you two.
That $100 I gave you really went a long way.
But we mean it.
Best 100 I
We
ever
do
spent.
mean
Thank
it.
you.
We do mean it.
Thank
We love you
girls.
both.
We love you.
Yes.
Nan, do you want to make the special announcement before we sign off?
Yes, so this is a sort of sneak preview of an announcement we're making next week, but Amy and I have founded a new holiday. It's called International Passionistas Day,
Yay!
and it is March 15th, which also is, it's the anniversary of our first podcast, and it's also Ruth Bader Ginsburg's birthday. So
Wow.
International Passionistas Day, we're going to be celebrating it all month, and we're going to encourage people to nominate passionistas in their lives that have inspired them and that are doing cool things. That we're going to give away all sorts of prizes. The grand prize is going to be to be on a guest on our podcast, but we're also giving away a subscription box and T-shirts and face masks and all sorts of fun things. Justice collars that are sister made that are beautiful. Ruth Bader
Cool.
Ginsburg inspired collars. So watch for the announcements, everybody get involved, and it's going to be a blast. So
And now we even have a signature drink that we'll all have to drink on Passionista.
That's right.
We got to get to work on that.
Yeah.
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 Sounds
Excellent.
fabulous.
Yeah. So thank you both so much for joining us tonight.
Thank
We love you both.
Thank you for
We love you both.
putting it out there. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
for
you
the support.
guys.
Anything for either of you ever, you know that. And please, 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 everybody, give them money, because we want to see this movie.
Give us money. Yeah.
Give them money.
All right. Thanks, you guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Okay.